I'm sure you. All right, welcome everybody. Today we're having a very special session. Nora Guerra from Freddie Mac is going to talk about where is the inventory and how to get it. So this will be solutions. Nora has been gracious and done several of these over the years with the group, and I really appreciate it. And I'm trying to get her to come back in person so that we can do something, in person together again. So I'm going to let Nora take it from here. She'll explain what we're doing and a little bit about herself.
I love it. Well, I guess I'm taking over, which is perfect. Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be back. I do have to say, I used to say this during COVID because you were one of my bigger favorite groups. I love sharing so much intel from my home state, California. I feel like sometimes I'm all over the country and I don't get to focus on the bigger conversation here in especially NorCal. I've got some really great stats. I've got some heat maps for you. I've got a lot of really great information to share. Okay, let's get started. So today we are going to talk about inventory solutions. We're going to talk about different ways as realtors, as realtor partners, how you can help us. So I really need your help on this, okay? So with that, let me introduce myself for those of you that are new to this session. My name is Nora Guerra, and I'm an affordable lending manager at Freddie Mac. Now, I do have to say that title comes very packed because it says affordable in my title. Well, what do I really do is, can I tell you, all I do all day, every day is look at data, analytics. I really try to strategize and say, okay, I know my realtor partners, I know my clients who are my lenders need a lot of help in the industry. What can I do when I present in certain areas? And how can we be very strategic to share more data, more analytics, bigger topics? But let me tell you, that's just me. Our bigger Freddie Mac team, we have phenomenal economists, analysts who are also doing this big work of let's figure out how to solve for the big issues. What are the big issues? We're going to talk about them today. Okay, so realtors, this is so important for you, but let me tell you, we're going to have a conversation today of different questions that you're going to start asking your buyers. Listen, it is not the regular housing economy we're used to. This is actually quite different. Never in the history of housing have we ever seen so much migration. Now, guess what? Look at California. It's in that orange. What's happening, Nora? What are we doing in California? So two things. If you've seen my session before during COVID, I kept saying, whoa, what's happening here, realtors? We're having a migration. The migration is twofold. So we'll talk about the first fold, which is out of urban, out of suburban, and into what we used to call rural. And guess what? In California, we are landlocked. We are holding hands in all these different counties. Now, I do have to say, most of you are NorCal and some of you are SoCal, which is fine. We'll just talk about all of California if that's okay with you guys. Okay, let me cover both areas. So NorCal, we have a big migration out of San Francisco, out of the city of Sacramento. That's why I'm there 3 or 4 more times the rest of this year, because it's a hot spot for us. Why? Well, guess what? They are leaving due to remote jobs. They are leaving these urban net migrations, and they're leaving suburban because it's not affordable, and they're going to rural. Any rural listing is where they're buying homes. Now, most of you are like, Nora, I don't see that. Well, guess what? I do see that because I'm buying those loans. And I do have to tell you, questions to ask your buyers. Number one, are you a remote employee? Would you consider migrating outside your favorite zip codes to buy a home, to afford a home, and to find inventory? Those are such important questions, and you probably haven't asked those questions before. Why? Well, let me tell you this. There are 71.2 million millennials out there. 50 million have not bought a home. We have so many millennials here in California. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, what is happening with these millennials is they loved remote work. They loved it so much that their tech companies, their regular brick and mortar companies are telling them, hey, come back to work 2 or 3 times a week. And they're saying, no, thanks. I love remote work, because most of them migrated and actually bought a home. Well, not all of them, especially here in California. So with that, your immediate questions are you a remote employee? If they say no, would you consider becoming a remote employee so that we can find you a home? I don't want you just pre-approved, submitting endless offers and not getting them accepted. We need to go where there is affordability, where there is inventory, and where you're going to have a chance to be able to qualify for this home. Totally different questions. Okay, second type of migration. Guys, I'm sad to say we have outbound state migrations. 322,000 migrated out of our state. What? Where did they go? Well, guess what? Check out Idaho, 42,000 inbound migrations. I can't say this enough. This is really impactful. We are leaving and we're going to wherever it's affordable, wherever they're finding inventory. And let me tell you, some of these states were not desirable states. Now, I do have to say, we have to have this big conversation in California. Weather is no longer an impact for us to stay in California. This amazing weather, I do have to tell you, I was in Texas, I just about died. Guys, it was so hot, I couldn't even take it. So while I would like to say California is phenomenal, let me tell you, the weather is phenomenal. It is not a reason for us to stay in this state. And we're going to lose a lot of first-time home buyers if we don't show up with options. So how can you better help them? Oh, and I think I saw someone pop up and ask, when did this migration happen? Now, I do have to say, the reason that we have 20 to 21 is because it's the kickoff of the migration. So 322,000 exited during COVID, okay? That number, you'll see new HMDA data actually be released probably in a little bit, and we'll update this slide for the newer information, but it's not yet out there. So we want to show you when the migration really kicked off. So I do have to say, realtors, you've had your farm area for way long. You're the subject matter experts. You know the schools, you know your favorite zip codes. I see you as I'm traveling on all these, your pictures on all these phenomenal benches and billboards. Guess what? You're gonna have to expand out of that farm area to be able to service these millennials that are going to be migrating out of your favorite zip codes. So if you want to better understand and help future buyers, you gotta migrate out yourself, okay? You have to know where the rural pockets of affordability, start looking at listings, go into MLS, check out what's out there, go outside the comfort zone, really, but you also have to level set the conversations with your buyers. Listen, this is very competitive in zip code X, Y, and Z, and you have to also say, you know, what are you willing to do to get you into housing? So are you willing to maybe ask your company for a remote job, or are you willing to go outside the zip code and do a little more of an extensive drive? Okay, let's keep the party going. Let's go to our next slide. So with that, what is the real challenge in housing? I do have to tell you, let's level set again. I'm sorry, Michael, are you trying to interrupt?
We're not seeing your slides.
Oh, yikes. Okay, hang on a second. Let's see here. Oh no, guys, I'm so sorry. No wonder someone said, oh no, guys, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You know what? Let me go back and make sure. Okay, can you see my slides now?
It sounded like it was okay. Very
well,
cool.
actually, let's go back. I want you to see. Okay, so when I mentioned 322,000 exiting California, as you can see, anything orange or that ugly burgundy color, those were the bigger outbound migrations. Anything in light green, dark green, or yellow were inbound migration. So that's where people were migrating to. Now, really quick, I forgot to mention, so historically, millennials go to coastal areas for jobs and universities. Well, guess what? They're migrating inward when it comes to on a national level, but we are losing millennial first-time home buyers. So that's why we need your help. Okay, and by the way, yes, interesting, right? Florida. Can I tell you, we have so much of a inbound migration into Florida, and what it is New York, New Jersey, all these like really high, unaffordable states are moving downward. So with that, I'm going to move forward. Just remember all the facts that I shared with you. This is why migration is so important. Okay, so Michael, interrupt me if by any chance you can't see my slides. All right, so let's talk about the bigger issue, which is inventory. Now, someone said to me recently as I was presenting, but Nora, we're about to have a big crash. Whoa, I said, tell me about the crash. And they were like, yeah, it's all over social media. Can you cite that information for me, please? So important, you guys. Can I tell you, please share statistics, share real data. Don't share opinions. Let me tell you why. We have such a different housing economy from the mortgage crisis. Number one, we have so much equity out in the housing industry. Wow, that's historical. We've never had that much equity out there. Why? Historical housing appreciation. Number two, the demand, guess what? It's not going away. No, 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 no. As a matter of fact, it's getting larger. If you're impressed by the 50 million millennials that haven't bought a home, hang tight. We've got Gen Zers coming, and that age demographic is quite large. And they are little eager beavers, and they can't wait to buy a home. So what's the big issue? Inventory. That's the big issue. You guys, if you're waiting for foreclosures, please don't. Please do not. Check the data statistics with Black Knight. They always announce how much foreclosures and forbearance are out there. Please get yourself definitely educated. And today you're doing that by joining this webinar. I get to share my data and statistics with you. It's a lot that you can share on your social media. Share statistics. All right. So with that, let's talk about inventory in California. Oh, anything red, anything burgundy is scary. It's less than 2.0% of housing ratio. But hang on, guess what? Anything blue, anything light blue, anything blue, anything light blue is positive. So can I tell you, as everyone continues to say, California has no inventory, we have no inventory. Well, can I tell you, I was in Fresno, I was in Bakersfield, I was in high NorCal, and guess what? I was having conversations of, you guys have inventory. So please better understand your areas, your pockets where there is inventory, where there are listings out there. This is better information for you to share with potential first-time home buyers. Now, you're probably wondering, but Nora, is there enough inventory? No, the answer is no. So today we're going to talk about product solutions for lack of inventory. And realtors, I need to educate you because there are inventory solutions, but you don't know it because we've never had this in our housing industry. So with that, we're going to have a different conversation today, okay? All right, so the big issue, we said, the real crisis, inventory, okay? Now, let's talk about first-time home buyers. What does it look like? Okay, I do have to say, this wheel is a fantastic way for you to rebrand yourself as a niche or find a niche borrower, but really be that realtor partner, be that if we have any lenders, my clients, originators in the session today, also the way for you to really make an impact in the industry, to be that subject matter expert, you got to find a niche borrower, whether that be single women, whether that be Latinos, whether that be minorities. Maybe you want to help younger millennials, older millennials. You got to break yourself out and find a niche clientele. Now, let me tell you this. If you notice on this amazing wheel, single women are outbuying men double by double. Why? Guess what? They're huge, their bigger goal, I gotta buy a house. I'm not gonna wait until someone puts a ring on it, like Beyonce says. Guess what? They are absolutely doing a phenomenal job of fixing their credit. They are going out there and qualifying with student loan debt, with actual debt, and they are doing the work. Well, guess what, guys? They're a little upset with you. Why? Why are you not marketing to them? They constantly tell us, nobody markets to us, nobody helps us get financially ready. So there's going to be a theme here on how you can build this clientele, and I'm going to show you a strategy. So stay tuned with that. This wheel really represents first-time home buyers, okay? All right, with that, remember, how many millennials are out there that haven't bought a home? This is a little quiz. Answer it in the chat if you don't mind. And remember, hashtags are the way. If you're on social media and you really want to make an impact, hashtag single female financial literacy. Hashtag, that's right, Anil, you're on it, and I love it. Anil knows, and can you imagine the commission check on that 50 million that haven't bought a home? Gosh, I miss those days of originating. All right, so there is something that is called the mortgage ready population. Guess what it is? It's renters that are out there that qualify for a mortgage, but they don't know they do. They're out there renting. Okay, so what constitutes a mortgage ready individual? Number one, according to Freddie Mac, a FICO above 625. And if any of my lender clients are out there, yep, you can do a mortgage for as low as 625 FICO score. Number two, debt to income ratio. So they can't owe more than 25%. You guys, that's a phenomenal number. It's low. I used to be an underwriter. That would impress me all day long. And can't have any mortgage late. I'm sorry, I said mortgage late. I'm thinking like an underwriter already. Can't have any lates in the last 12 months. And no foreclosures, no adverse credit, nothing on their credit report for the last 86 months. Okay, so in other words, the credit profile looks pretty good. Well, guess what, California? You got millions. I'm sorry. Wait, yes, you do. You have millions, up to millions of mortgage ready individuals all over the state. You guys, look at that purple. You have purple. You're one of the states that has purple, but you're also one of the states that has more millennials than other states. Why? We're full of young millennials. We're full of older millennials. Now, let's break down the millennial demographic. Older millennial, 45 turning 46. Younger millennial is turning 26, just graduated college. They're fully immersed in the workforce. Now, let me tell you about millennials really quickly. My favorite subject. These millennials, guess what? They are the largest age demographic out there, larger than baby boomers. And for such a long time, we kept saying, wow, baby boomers, so many of them. Nope. Millennials surpass them. Number two, guess what? They're fully immersed in the workforce and they're out earning every other age demographic. That's why there's so many mortgage ready individuals out there. So what's the holdup? Why aren't they coming to the housing table? Well, for a very long time, they were quite jaded by our 2009 mortgage crash. And then it started becoming unaffordable. But let's have a quick rate conversation. You guys, they're scared of rates, right? Oh, I don't like today's rate. No, thank you. I'm not interested in purchasing. So if they're so rate conscious and they're so rate savvy, why didn't they, all 50 million of them, buy a home January 2022? Why January 2022? The lowest rate in housing history. If they are so interested and rate conscious, why didn't all 50 million buy a home January 2022? And 3 months later, I at Freddie Mac and my Freddie Mac partners and colleagues get half of that business about April or March when we bought the loans. No, they are not rate conscious. They don't understand interest rates. They don't understand the benefits of mortgage write-off either, mortgage interest write-off. So taking the higher rate will give them a write-off. A lot of you can actually ask them, by the way, what are your write-offs? And they're going to say, I have none. Correct, because you don't own a mortgage. And they also don't know that as renters, they're paying 100% interest rate. They sure are, because they like 100% interest rate. They didn't like our historical low interest rate, January 2022. Okay, so onward from the interest rate conversation, there are millions of millennials in California. Now, I do have to say, where are they? Okay, hang on. We're going to find out in a quick minute where they're located. But what is the big barrier? Why are they not coming to the housing table? Why are they renting? Okay, Well, guess what? Let's talk about renter millennials. What we have discovered is that they are paying for a deposit, a first month's rent, and a last month's rent. They're getting their credit pulled, and landlords want almost perfect credit. Do we need perfect credit to qualify for a mortgage? Absolutely not. Please dispel that myth. And in most areas, not high cost areas, but most areas across the US, specifically in California, this deposit, this first month's rent and last month's rent equates to down payment. So what's the issue? Guys, while they are the most intelligent higher learning degree cohort, they are not financially literate. They have no clue what it takes to qualify for a mortgage. Remember, when you rent, when you apply for a rental agreement, you're filling out a big, long application, kind of like my mortgage application. Yeah. And they're providing bank statements. And in some landlords we're seeing are asking for assets. And guess what? They have them. So here's where you can really make an impact on your mortgage business. I'm sorry, I said mortgage business, on your buyer business, is you can actually start partnering with your favorite lender and doing home buyer seminars. You want to grow your book of business? You want new buyers? You want new clients? You want new sellers even? Start hosting home buyer seminars. Hashtag financial literacy, hashtag home buyer seminar, because they really need your help. You can't Google financial literacy and find out the inception of purchasing a home all the way to post-close. Guess what? We have resources for that. Okay, so 67% of renters in the millennial age demographic perceive down payment as the biggest barrier. But guess what? They think they need 20% down. Do they need 20% down? Absolutely not. Please throw that in the chat. Tell me you're listening. No, they do not need 20% down. As a matter of fact, most of my clients can do mortgages as low, conventional mortgages, as low as 3%. And if they layer it with down payment assistance, maybe even less. Now, I do have to tell you this, okay? You need to work with a loan officer that really knows programs very well, okay? These statistics are really a way for you to grow that niche client. You want new buyers, but you want buyers that qualify. They're out there, okay? They are out there. You just need to know what to look for. So my data and demographic really represent that. One more thing, realtors, I need your help, okay? So for a very long time, you had thousands of buyers, and you kept saying, no, thank you. I don't want any down payment assistance pre-approvals. Well, guess what? A buyer who goes through and qualifies for down payment assistance overqualifies from an FHA buyer or other buyers because they've gone through the hoops of qualifying for down payment assistance. Please educate your seller. These are very strong qualified buyers. They need to get into homes. All right, moving on. So how do you make an impact on your business? Guess what? You're going to teach them financial literacy. This is the bigger conversation on how to grow your business, okay? You want your next buyer to come in? Sure. Go and teach them. Be of value. Be that subject matter expert in your community, okay? 47% of potential first-time home buyers perceive lack of knowledge regarding the home buyer process is the barrier. Absolutely. More, less, a little bit next to half of them. So guess what? The other half, they know maybe down payment assistance, maybe they know about credit, but they don't know everything, okay? So you are that subject matter expert in your neighborhood. Okay, so who do they go to when they decide to start the mortgage process or to say, I'm gonna buy a home? Realtors, I have a great news for you, okay? They go to your websites. They love your websites. They can't wait to buy a home. They can't wait. But do you teach financial literacy on your websites? No, you don't. No, you don't, because I am all over your websites too. I always go in there and check out websites when I meet a new realtor. Okay, so that's okay, but guess what? They come to you because they love the picture on that home. They love the MLS interior of pictures that you guys take, and they come to you and say, I think I want to buy a home. And the first thing you're going to say is, are you pre-approved? Which is a great question. Continue to ask that, please. All right, with that said, guess who they go to for mortgage qualification advice. They go to family and friends. Now let's have that conversation. Family and friends have very stale information. Where do they get the I need 20% from? Mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. My friends with really bad information that actually haven't bought a home. So I need your help. You got to dispel the myth everywhere. Do we need 20% down? No. They are going to the folks that actually don't have the information. You have the right information. You and your lender partners can host these home buyer seminars, okay? All right, let's keep it going. With that, what does this mean for you and your borrower? Purchase remains strong with solutions that help overcome the challenges. So listen, I'm going to go over different products you actually probably aren't working right now, and they're in your neck of the woods. Okay, first-time home buyers are out there and they need your help to overcome misconceptions and concerns. You guys, I can't tell you enough. It is time for you to dispel the myth. It is time for you to get on social media, share data, statistics, real data, real misconceptions, dispel the myth. Start hosting a 3-minute video, by the way, on TikTok. They love TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. If you're spending money, make sure that you're spending it on those 3 social media platforms, okay? And you're gonna tell them, dispel the myth. No, you don't need 20% down. Also, did you know that you can do a one-time hardship withdrawal if you have a 401k? That's your down payment money. And they don't know that. You're also going to tell them, by the way, did you know I'm hosting, financial literacy events with my favorite lender? You'll have to kind of like, did you know, and hold their hand through it. Okay. Also, I need you to start preparing for a changing demographic. You guys, the buyer of the future looks so different than it has in the last 25 years. I have to say, when I started my career, my gosh, you guys, the buyer looks totally different. They have new challenges. You have to offer new solutions. It's ever evolving and it's ever changing. And if this demographic is so different, hang tight, because those Gen Zers, they have even more different challenges that you're going to have to overcome. And by the way, at Freddie Mac, we provide insights, education, mortgage products, and definitely mortgage solutions. All right. So how can I help you? Okay, guys, a whole new plethora of a way of doing business. Realtors, you now need to know there's more products out there that can help lack of inventory. And that's why I have to at least show you and send you my PowerPoint presentation. Now, your lender partners are definitely going to be those subject matter experts. So just make sure you talk to them. Hey, do you know about ADUs? Do you know about cross mods and modular homes coming to the housing industry? Do you know about renovations? And they're going to either say yes or no. And then if they say no, that's okay. Be patient with them because they're learning too. Us as GSCs, we're helping them get education. By the way, we have free videos at Freddie Mac that really does a great job of teaching them about this new way of doing business. Why? Because we don't have builders building 2.5 million additional inventory per year for the next 10 years. That's not going to happen. So we got to find product solutions. All right. With that, what is the bigger challenge in our industry? Is it a mortgage crisis? Is it a crash? Is it interest rates? It's actually inventory, I do have to say. Okay, so let's talk about today's housing landscape, okay? So I have a really phenomenal, and I actually made it a live link. When you get this presentation, you get to go in and see what the renter and owner profile looks like. And I want you to really take a deep dive into this amazing article, because it really tells you as an agent, what does it look like for buyers and renters, okay? Now, 47% of all homeowners have made spending or housing changes over the last 2 years to afford their current monthly mortgage payment. Do you know that? Do you know that impacts your business? This is super important for you to understand, for you to know. And why? Number one, don't you want more move-up buyers? And some of these move-up buyers may be through renovation. They're going to renovate existing housing stock. Now, I have a quick question for you that I want you to answer in the chat. What is the average age of a home in America. Realtors, this is your expertise. You need to know this. If you can, start answering in the chat while I continue this, because you need to know all about existing housing stock. And then I'm going to ask you what the average age of a home in California is. So what is the average age of a home in America? Oh, 30 years. Okay, I like that. Anil, you're on it. Thank you for that. Oh, Aline, you 60 years. Aline knows something. Okay, maybe around 60. I'll answer in a minute. Keep going with the chat. I want to make sure that you guys are interactive and you do participate. I like this, Nurmita, 45 years. Now, let's go back 60 years. What does the plumbing and electrical look like on that home, right? Keep going with those numbers. 37, I like it, Teresa. Okay, so owners are having trouble affording their housing payment. However, at Freddie Mac, and I do have to say our partners across the river, Fannie Mae, guess what? We have come up with forbearance and different solutions to keep folks in homes, okay? So please, if you have a buyer that says, I don't want to buy right now because I might lose my home, no, actually what we're seeing is there is minimal risk versus the benefits of homeownership. Beatrice, I see 46. I'm going to answer that in a minute. Hang on. Let's go to our next slide. Okay. Oops, sorry, missed one. Okay. So how do we tackle some of society's persistent housing challenges? Okay, guys, well, guess what? We need to increase loan purchases. We need to have different products to be able to help you. And as agents, I do have to say, believe it or not, even though you're like, Freddie Mac, you're not really my partner. Oh, yes, we are. We are such your big partner. Let me tell you why. If we don't create programs, your lenders have no programs to offer these first-time home buyers. We really are your partners. And can I tell you, I am your biggest partner. Let me tell you why. I come and I teach you agents about products, even though I know I don't want you, or you don't have to become subject matter experts, but I want to tell you what's coming in the industry so that you're prepared and that you ask the right questions. As I told you, talk to your lenders. Hey, do you know about renovation? Did you know that in the US, the average age of a home is 50 years? That's, you guys, 50 years. That's the average age of a home. Okay, now answer. What's the average age of a home in California? Okay, so that's your next question. All right, so I'm gonna keep going with this because I gotta end on time or Michael will grab the hook and pluck me off. All right, guys, so we need to have new enhanced product offerings, standardization. We need to make sure we stabilize the housing industry. We need to have new market research for you. I need to come back and talk to you as much as I can and tell you, here's what's happening, here's what we're seeing, pivot this way or pivot that way. Or what are you seeing? Oh, average age of a house in California, 70. Wow, Anil, those are older homes, huh? Maybe in your neck of the woods, are you seeing that? Okay, well, we'll keep going. All right, capacity for building home buyer education. I can't stop saying this to you guys. This really is the topic. Beatrice, 35. Okay, Beatrice is getting a little close. So start suggesting around that age demographic. Okay, outreach and engagement. You guys, it's important. We got to get out there. We got to get out there. We got to find our buyers outside of your comfort zone. If you work remote, you got to go out, you got to network, you got to start talking to these first-time home buyers. You have to help them get comfortable with data demographics, with the interest rates. You got to educate them on what the housing industry really looks like. Start talking on your social media, share real data and statistics, not just opinions, you guys. And let me tell you, we did a millennial study, which I presented all during COVID. And I do have to tell you, they don't want to hear your opinions. They want to hear data and statistics. They want to hear solutions. All right. With that, let's keep this going. Let's see here. Okay. What is, oh, sheesh. All right, so what is one solution? You guys, California, we've never really seen manufactured housing, right? All right, Danny, 50 years. I like that too. Okay, so the average age in California actually is, I believe, 32 years. Okay, so it's 32 years old. Can I tell you, we've had a lot of renovation happening here in California. As you can see behind me, this gorgeous blue-green sea color. That was my renovation during COVID. You guys, during COVID, I refinanced, I had a ton of equity on my home. Guess what? I brought it down to the studs and I redid my entire house, but so did a lot of Americans. Now, why is this important? Number one, I've got a ton of housing appreciation now added to my home. And number two, if I want to build up, because I can't buy it, I'm a mover up buyer. I want to buy a bigger home. If I want to build on the second story, I absolutely can through renovation. Because let me tell you, I don't want to buy a $2 million mortgage down the street because I'm in SoCal. So with that, we'll talk about renovation in a minute. Okay, so average age of a home in America, 50. Average age of a home in California, 32. These millennials are a little scared about those numbers. Let me tell you, they're like, ooh, that's an old home. Or by the way, that might need a lot of work. Yes, we need to educate millennials. They are not going to buy their dream home. They're going to buy their first home. They're just getting in there. They're going to build equity and then they can figure it out from there to buy their dream home. Have that big conversation up front. All right, so manufactured housing. Did you know 22 million people in the US live in manufactured homes today? Now, listen, don't let me scare you. I'm from California too. You guys, when I thought of manufactured homes, I thought of like mobile homes. I was like, oh no, not in California. We don't see them down here in SoCal. We don't see them up there in NorCal either, but guess what? I have pictures to show you. Hang tight because I've been traveling with builders all over the country. They're coming to California. Realtors, you need to know how to sell these amazing homes. And I'm going to show you in a quick minute what that looks like. Manufactured home costs 45%. This is an affordable solution. You guys, the price point on these, as we're seeing all over the country, is actually very viable. So viable that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae changed their guidelines on appraisal so that they appreciate at the same level as site-built homes. Do you know how hard it is for a GSE to change their guidelines? But guess what? Just like that other slide, we are changing our ways and our guidelines to be able to accommodate for affordable housing. Realtors, you don't know manufactured housing, most of you, but you need to better understand it. And I have a ton of solutions. And listen, if I don't go through each bullet point, you get to do it at your desk as you're trying to say, I want to figure this out. How can I be, kind of a subject matter expert, maybe on a certain product with your lender partner, but also a demographic niche borrower. Connect the dots. Okay, so manufactured homes, new builds, we're seeing them all over the country. Listen, I have a builder that I travel with. Their name is Clayton Homes. Go and check out some of their videos. Guess what? They're in California. Anyone know of, Paradise, California? Yeah, guess what? That town burnt down, right? We know those big fires that happen out there. Well, guess what? They flew in and they started building 4 cross mods out there, and they're gorgeous. They have an entire amazing video that's in your neck of the woods. And I do have to say, one of them just sold. Do you guys want to know the sales price on that? $346,000. And I'm going to show you a picture, okay? So hang tight. All right, I do have to say, as we've shown pictures of these cross mods or modular homes, millennials love them. They're like, I'll do it all day long. By the way, they also have custom cabinetry. I want you to just go to the website and take a peek. All right, so moving along, did you know that they're going out of urban, out of suburban, and they're buying these homes and building them in rural locations, which you deem rural location. So don't think rural as like, all the way in the woods. No. Actually, just anything that's not deemed super urban or suburban. You guys think outside the box, okay? All right, with that, there's so much information on manufactured housing. And can I tell you, California, it's coming very aggressive because that is a viable solution. Now, let me just give you an example to educate you. These cross mods, they are built in factory. So if it's raining, if it's super hot, it doesn't matter. That's not impacting. They're building them according to Clayton. And I'm just using Clayton as an example, by the way, just to kind of educate you. They're building them in 7 to 10 days, and they're getting them on the lot and affixed to the chassis within 90 days of purchase. Now, does anyone know the average time frame for a new build? Add that to the chat. How long does it take to build a home and to fund the loan on new construction? Let me educate you on that as well. Okay, so we're saying manufactured housing is definitely a viable solution. Hang tight, I've got more solutions for you. So how about renovations? Remember the average age of a home in America? Well, guess what? Renovation during COVID, these millennials got to see HGTV and they love renovating a home with no issues in 30 minutes. We know that's not true. All right, so agents, what do I want to talk to you about when it comes to renovation? Did you know that when the renovation loan funds, you get to move on, you get to get your commission check, and you get to walk away? Did you know you don't have to wait for your commission check to come as the renovations are going to happen 30, 60, and 90 days later? Well, most agents in America don't know that, but I need you to know that because I really need you to be open to renovating or using a renovation loan from one of my clients in the future. And let me tell you, you know those listings when you put amazing home, charming, cute, little, needs a little tiny work? Yeah, that's a renovation property for sure. Now, if you do a renovation loan on that particular property, it closes in less than 30 days. You guys, this is a fantastic way for you to really open up your business. You want new inventory? Renovation is it. Did you know a first-time home buyer can actually purchase a home for as little as 3% with a renovation loan? This is a conventional loan. This is not FHA. We're not waiting for those FHA HUD appraisers. No, they are actually, I believe, I'm hearing here in California, about 90 days out. Nope, regular conventional appraiser can actually appraise these homes. All right, with that, let's keep it going. Let's see here. I actually even offer a product that's less than 90 days to close, as long as it's less than $50,000. Some of these homes just need new windows. Maybe they need a new roof. Maybe they need something fixed inside the house, like electrical. We're seeing a lot of plumbing, and it might be less than $50,000. Well, there's a little mini reno product called Reno Express, and it closes even quicker. And the borrowers, the potential first-time home buyers, can get their money right away. They get their renovations completed, and then the loan closes. But guess what? As realtors, you close the loan. The minute the loan funds, you get your commission check, you're out the door. Let's go to the next property. Let's go to the next buyer or seller. Okay. All right. So let me talk about green energy efficiency mortgages. You can layer green everywhere with all of our products. Now, yes, Brenda, you are right, Brenda. All of our millennial surveys, studies, they love green. They are so worried about climate change. You guys, I am in California. Southern California. We've had a heat wave recently, and it's been pretty hot. Has it been hot in NorCal? I haven't been there in about a month. However, I do have to tell you, the rest of the country, it feels like it's on fire, right? Well, guess what? They are so mindful. They love green, green, green. Get them a green refrigerator, a green dishwasher, get them solar panels. All of this is part of our green efficiency mortgage. It could be added to every single one of our Freddie Mac programs. You guys, millennials love green. By the way, these cross mods are coming with a lot of green efficiency appliances already in there. So just throwing that out there, not us, we don't, it's not us building these homes. I just want to show you what's out there so that you can get yourself educated. Yes, millennials love green, anything green. That's probably the way you're going to get them in the door. All right. So more information on our green mortgage, but listen, you got to know this stuff so that you can be that subject matter expert and say, oh, my lender, by the way, let me show you something. Let me show you what we need to be working on. Okay. Be mindful of what that millennial buyer persona is, or you're going to be very, very out of the conversation. What I'm seeing, a lot of my lender partners know all about millennials because I've been teaching them for a while. I want you as realtors to also know the info, the intel on these millennials. Be able to have an impactful conversation. Remember, or let's do a quick did you know? According to the BRE, what's the average age of a realtor in America? Drop that in the chat if you don't mind, okay? I have a big point on that. All right, keep going. Manufactured homes, we did talk about those cross mods, but also let me give you a quick education. Mobile homes, nope, no longer, okay? So mobile homes were actually made before June 15th, 1976. Jody, I like that, 42. That's still a little young. Let's go a little higher than that, okay? Average age of according to the BRE, average age of a realtor in America. Remember, these millennials are 25 to 45, okay? Oh, 50. Okay, Anil, you're getting close. Anil's on it today. Anil, did you see my presentation lately or what? Brenda's closer. Okay, hang on. What's a manufactured home? Well, it was built on a permanent chassis, You guys are not going anywhere. They're not going to fall off while you're asleep. They're not going to fall off that chassis. Meet or exceeds HUD code. Okay, good. We've got some health and safety happening there. They were transported to the site and they were affixed to a permanent foundation. Okay, good. However, remember I talked about cross mods, modular homes, certified to meet or exceed state, local, regional building codes and permanently installed to the site. Danny, 60. Okay, so according to the BRE, the average age of a realtor in America is 56 years old. According to NMLS, what's the average age of my originator, of a lender in America? An originator, NMLS originator. What's the average age? Answer it in the chat if you don't mind. Do you see a lot of younger originators or older? Answer that. All right, 35, I like that. Younger, right? Okay, so guys, these homes went from like no health and safety, totally unregulated, to extremely regulated, very much like a home. And remember, I just mentioned, we changed our guidelines for these homes. Okay, so the lovely picture to the right, I'm sorry, to your, maybe your left, hang on. That ugly one on stilts, that's what they used to look like. Those lovely pictures that you see to your right or left, I'm not even quite sure at this point, that's what they look like now. I have to tell you, if you're near Paradise, California, I'm asking you up in NorCal, go see them. They're phenomenal. They have garages. They no longer have these high lifted porches or these ramps or these big giant stairs. You guys, they're gorgeous. This is an affordable solution for you to be a subject matter expert in your community and offer solutions more than your competitor. You got to know about this. Okay. So be very open. Remember, the first thing I always say is, by the way, I'm very coachable. I need you to be coachable as well. Guys, we haven't seen this here in California, but can I tell you, not only is it coming, it's here. Clayton has a factory up here, but so do my other builders. Okay. You're going to see this. This is an affordable solution. All right. ADUs. I love this conversation. All right, guys. So let me level set about ADUs. As a Latina, Latinos are subject matter experts on these ADUs. Do you guys remember for the last 20, 30 years, we've been converting our garages into another living space. Our cousins or uncles who were construction, guess what? They were throwing a kitchen and a bathroom into our garages. Yeah, that's called an ADU. Guess what? They are now very much allowed here in California, thanks to our policymakers. This is a viable solution for more inventory. Now you're going to have a buyer who's like, hey, I need 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. Yeah, that's that sweet spot where we can't find a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, right? Okay, well, how about we build an ADU? Through our renovation program, as low as 3%, you can build an entire ADU. You guys, up in NorCal, you have more land than us down here in SoCal near LA. This really is a way of the future. Find inventory. ADUs are financed more in California than any other state. But guess what? These other states, they're getting on board. There's so many other states that are now passing laws for ADU financing. At Freddie Mac, we love ADUs. We want to help you with inventory. Realtors, you need to know all about ADUs. Your lenders need to know about ADUs as well, and that's my job. I'm out there educating on them. Expand your ADU knowledge, okay? This actually shows you all the specs on ADUs. We don't go very granular. I want you to know the bigger selling points of an ADU. By the way, a lot of these remote employees are loving ADUs. Let me tell you why. They want ADUs built for their office, and sometimes they don't even have bathrooms. They just want a bigger office. They just want different types of ways to be able to get out of the home, in their home, on their property, and be remote employees. So they're leaving all the bedrooms for the housing, and that fourth ADU is getting built out in the back. A lot of these builders are also building ADU units, casitas, different types of names for them. But listen, ADU is the way to advance inventory. All right, so I want to definitely explain what is an ADU. So a little learning lesson here. Oh, by the way, did I ever answer that question? What's the average age of an MLS originator in America? 54. 54. So you guys remember, my millennials are 25 to 45. My agents, average age 56. My originators, 54. Do you think there might be a conversational gap out there? Absolutely. The conversational gap is they don't know financial literacy, and you guys, we need to be able to impact them, not with opinions, with data, statistics, knowledge, and solutions, okay? All right, so ADUs, a converted basement space or addition. By the way, basement, you're like, Nora, in California? No, it's all over the country. This is a term for the rest of the country. Or an above garage unit. We're also seeing a lot of Californians building above the garage an ADU. We're seeing that a lot quite recently, as a matter of fact, or it can be a detached structure built on the main home's lot. So you guys, if someone has a big, kind of like a land lot, someone recently told me, Nora, I built an ADU for my son who couldn't afford housing, makes great money, but we decided to build him a 2-room ADU. And you guys, can I tell you, if you have buyers who are out there want 5, 6 bedrooms but don't qualify for it, this might be a solution. All right, we're gonna go fast because I've got 5 more minutes. All right, so by the way, did you know you can also, as a first-time home buyer, utilize rental income on an ADU? If you plan to rent that out, guess what? We want to help you qualify. Absolutely, you can use rental income. My lender partners know all about that because they're subject matter experts on this program. All right, so how can ADUs help you with growing your business? Borrowers are seeking financing to purchase properties with ADUs. Freddie Mac, we do them, so do my lender clients. And we want to help you through our renovation programs, okay? You can build an ADU. Providing ADU financing for borrowers who need more space but can't afford to move. How about those buyers that are coming back to you and they're like, hey, I don't know what to do. I really need to move up. I can't move up. You don't want to lose them as a client. You are that valuable realtor partner, and they're going to give you more referrals. So you got to make sure that you add value. Remember, say, hey, you know what? I just heard about ADUs. Maybe we can get an ADU built for you. Would you mind sending me a referral if I send you to my lender partner? You guys ask for those referrals. By the way, during our millennial study, we asked millennials, how many average referrals would you give one of my realtor partners or my lenders if they help you through the mortgage process and find you a home? Average was 7. 7. You guys, we are a commission. We no longer, not me. You are a commission-based business. Would you raise your hand, please, virtually, if you would like 7 referrals this year by one funded transaction? Please, yes, raise your hand. Please help them. And being a valuable partner is the way. Yes, Teresa, me too. Okay. I miss those commission checks. So does my husband. All right. So we are coming up with solutions. I have about 3 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing my presentation. you absolutely will get a copy of my deck. I want to make sure if we have any questions or our loan scenarios, but outside of that, you can, your lenders can call 1-800-FREDDIE and answer every single loan scenario that you have out there. Does anyone have any questions? You can unmute yourself, or if you have any comments on today's presentation, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's answer that for you. Emily, do you have a question or you want that commission deck? Emily?
Sorry, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
All right.
I was just raising my hand to your question.
That's good.
Yeah, that commission check, right?
Yes,
Me too.
please.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Let's get it over to you. So you guys, today's presentation totally different from what you've seen in the past. But let me tell you, I do have to tell you, the more you're ahead of the curve on product, and I don't need you to be that subject matter expert on product, but at least know enough to defend yourself and say, wait, hang on, don't go away. Let me figure this out. I just saw something on, we might be able to get you an ADU. Let's figure out manufactured housing. Let's figure out a renovation purchase. And remember, again, these 3 products, the minute that loan funds, you grab your commission check, you go to your next buyer. You don't have to hang around for those renovation or, not like new construction, where sometimes our agents are very scared to say, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to hang out. Teresa, let's see here. Do you have information we could use for our website and social media? Thank you for asking. Yes, I do. I'm going to send you a phenomenal website with a ton of data and statistics that you can actually share on social media. If you want immediate data and statistics, follow me on LinkedIn. This morning, I published a ADU article. You can borrow, take, steal my verbiage, or repost it and say, my friend Nora at Freddie Mac says ADUs are it, friends. And please, I'm on LinkedIn under Nora Guerra, Guerra. I also posted on manufactured housing this morning, knowing I was going to present to you guys. I wanted to give you immediate social media content, and I posted on potential first-time home buyer article. And you get a copy of my presentation, but I'm also going to throw in one additional link. I feel like Oprah, free. I'm going to throw in one additional link to you to our Freddie Mac Insights page, which has every single data statistic topic that you can think of. Listen, remember, to be valuable to these millennials, you got to share statistics, okay? So no more of that. I think the market's crashing. No, that's not you. You are going to show, this is what the data, the research is showing. Millennials, call me, or start using your hashtags. Millennials use hashtags to find you. They need your expertise. By the way, I'll close this out saying, you're probably wondering, hey, do they, Nora, do they really look at hashtags, or do they want to see me? Yes, the first thing they have said during our surveys and studies is they need the subject matter expert. They don't want an e-mortgage and they don't want an e-realtor. Isn't Purple Door gone? That should tell you they need the expert. They need the hand-holding. You are it. Do not be afraid to talk to them. And as always, Michael, thank you for inviting me. Friends, it's great to see you. I will be in NorCal, I believe 3 or 4 more times this year. If you follow me on LinkedIn, I always publish all my upcoming events. And with that, I conclude.
Oh, thank you, Nora. Great job as always. On LinkedIn, are you going to have the deck that you just, or you're going to send that to me and I'm going to? Yeah.
I'm going to email it over to you. I just have one quick 30-minute call. If you give me about 30 minutes that I got to take care of. Perfect.
That'll give me a chance to send all of them my Venmo information for those that want to buy a copy. I'm just kidding. So go ahead and send it to me. I have a list, obviously, of everyone that was here. We'll send out a link to it. I'm going to post it on the workplace group. Probably with the YouTube video as well, but there's when convenient, send it.
Perfect. I love it. You guys, thank you so much. Follow me on LinkedIn for info. If you need anything, send me a quick message. Michael, thank you so much for being such a great partner to me. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
You too.